So right now, without further ado, let's get to our guest on the show. Joining us again, Setema Gali, again, executive coach, best-selling author, founder of Immersion, Man Wealth, Shield Maiden, and Pro Rev Life. Setema, what's going on, my friend?
My brother, it's good to be with you guys. I appreciate the time. Life is, regardless of the quarantine, life is amazing, man. We're really having a great quarantine, a great pandemic, and my family's doing well. Business is cranking, and I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that, all good to hear, and that's what I've heard. Nothing but positive things about this guy. Got hooked up through a very good friend of mine, Sean Vincent, who of course is talks about how Immersion and Man Wealth has changed his life. He's a big part of that now, and Sean also an amazing human being. Sean was on the show, if you remember, a couple months ago. He is working on donating his kidney to former NFL star Albert Hainsworth. Really, really cool. Both him and Albert on the show. Sean's an incredible guy. So Setema. And Setema, I want to tell you, I talked also to a friend of mine out here that I'll bet you know who this person is, Michelle Kubiak. She's a realtor. And,
I love Michelle, yeah.
And here's what
she's in our tribe, man. She's amazing.
I just wanted to tell you what she had to say about you and what you have to offer. And Michelle, she told me that she did the Shield Maiden and then advanced to the Circle of Champions. And Michelle said it coaches in 4 areas of her life: spiritual, financial, relationships, and physical, which actually helped her emotionally. And Michelle said Setema's amazing, and his program helped her gain confidence in a way she never knew she could. Explain that. What is Michelle talking about?
It goes back to about 12 years ago when I hit the bottom in the 2008 crisis. I hit the bottom, like the bottom, evicted from our homes, cars repossessed. I sold my Super Bowl ring. Like, we were so financially broke and in turmoil. And that was 12 years ago. And I remember being in this tiny 900-square-foot home, and I remember thinking to myself back then, I'm going to help people so they never have to go through this. So I climbed out of it. I rebuilt. I re-engineered my life. And today, we run this event called Immersion. So people come, where they're kind of on this weird spot in life. Some call it a midlife crisis, but some people just want to go to the next level. And we take them through this 4-day immersion experience. It's hard. It's like a mix of SEAL training, military training, sports training, but physical, spiritual, financial. And we challenge these human beings to get them to do more than they ever thought was possible. I mean, that's what it's about, is getting people to wake up and to see themselves completely different with zero limits. And then they go on to, again, run run marathons or do 100-mile runs, build multiple 7 or 8 figure businesses, get their marriages right. And, dude, that's what my life's mission, my life's work is about: transformation and getting people to the next level.
Mission: unleash human potential to maximize performance is Setema's mission. And Setema, what I've understood, and I've talked to 2 people about what you do. Obviously, Sean Vincent and Michelle Kubiak, but both of them, what it reminded me of is, in college I joined a fraternity, and back when I joined, it was back, I think there was still 2 or 3 dinosaurs running around. But hazing was still a pretty big thing back then. All I know is when I got through it, yes, it was a pain in the backside, but when I got done pledging and you officially, and I can't go through all the stuff we went through, but you become, and they tell you you're a brother, you're officially in the fraternity. It is one of the greatest feelings I still remember ever having in my life because of what I put up with to get to that point. When I talked to Sean and Michelle about Immersion, both of them say the same thing. It sounded like that feeling when you complete it, when you know it is at the end, you've concluded what you're required to do. The feeling inside of them just was unbelievable, what they told me.
That's exactly right, because the experience is this sacred, very high demanding. I mean, look, you got grown human beings, grown men and women who are emotional. They're in tears because when you do something that you're like, there's no way I could do this, and you get pushed beyond, not just an inch beyond what you think is possible, but so far beyond what you think is possible physically. That translates to well, look, I could do way more financially. I can do way more in my relationships. I can do way more in my career or my job. And when a human being is awakened to that possibility, the pathway, the runway opens up, the skies are open, and there's no more limits. So that's why they felt the way they felt.
that it describes it perfectly. Two things. I know we're short on time today, and again, we started the broadcast really late. We were supposed to talk about the NFL draft for all you people out there. We will be doing that again. Bill Lambier coming up after Setema. Setema, first of all, two things, and then I do want to ask you about your brief football career. You did get to see Tom Brady at the very beginning of his career, and I got to ask you about that. But I want to know two things. How do you get involved with Immersion and the cost? I know when people first see it, I did. It's initially a little bit of a sticker shock, but once you talk to people that have gone through the program, it almost seems inexpensive. Talk about that.
Yeah, so look, it's an application process. You can go to TitanImmersion.com. We rebranded Manuel to Titan. So TitanImmersion.com or ShieldMaidenLive.com. And look, the tuition, it's not cheap. It's a $10,000 tuition. And, some people, like, sticker shock is like, whoa. But I tell people, look, what would it be worth to you if you could get every part of your life back and not have to go through what I went through? Or what would it be worth to you to get that marriage and to prevent a divorce and to get your company to go to the next level? Most people hit ceilings. Most people get stopped. Most people get complacent. And, everyone who's ever come through there, like, that was the best money I've ever spent. In fact, we've had people that have borrowed, ended up there and said, I have to make this work because I borrowed. I bet the house to get here. And it's gone on to just change their entire relationships, their health and fitness, their spirituality and purpose, and, of course, their top line, right, their revenue, their bottom line, their career path, the business direction. It has been – so to me, it's like, dude, it's cheap. Like, and again, I say that in context, right, because it's really for business owners and entrepreneurs who get, like, if I just got one or two more extra deals, would this be worth it? So that's what it is, TitanImmersion.com, ShieldMaidenLive.com. Go check those out. It is, I love this. Look, it's my life's work. It's my life's work.
If you knew Michelle Kubiak like I do, like Setema does, like Sean does, and I've only met her within the past several months. I've known Michelle now, but an incredibly positive person, and she told me about the morphing of her personally. She said Setema's program helped her gain confidence in a way she never knew she could. And if you met her, she is the epitome of positivity. I'll leave it at that. Setema, we are just about out of time. I got to ask you real quick before you go. Brief NFL career, played at Brigham Young, and then went into the National Football League, and basically free agent, got yourself on the New England Patriots practice squad, but you were a part of that team that won the very first Super Bowl against the greatest show on turf. What was that like? And did anyone know at that time, I know this question's been asked a million times, but did anyone have any idea at that time what Tom Brady had the potential of becoming?
I don't think anyone really knew his potential. I just knew like he was I got there early off-season. So I get there early. It's like 5:30 in the off-season. And I'm there at 5:30. I'm going to go get an early workout because I'm going to go to this amusement park with some friends later on. Brady's in there watching film in the off-season, and I get there at 5:30. I'm like, what? Who is this guy? And we had the same agent, so I actually got to share conversations with him, have good conversations. And, again, I will tell you what, the guy is all of that and a bag of chips, man. He is the real deal. I saw him there early. I saw him leave late. A kind man, he's generous, a real teammate, man. He comes as advertised and more.
Not surprised at all. You got to have an insatiable work ethic to play any sport professionally into your 40s, and especially in the not-for-long league, the National Football League. It's amazing what he's done, continues to do. Like him or hate him, you have to respect him, and looking forward to seeing what he does in Tampa Bay this year. Looking forward to meeting you in person, my friend, and who knows, maybe I'll get the Stones to do the Immersion, because from what I've heard and what I see in the people that I know that have done it, one of the most amazing experiences, if not the most amazing experience of their entire life. Setema Gali, thank you so much for joining the show today. We'll do this again.
Take care, my brother.